Hey everybody, it's Christine up with a Flavors of the Month page kit from the ScrapRoom, and this is using Simple Stories, of course, one of my favorites, so of course I wanted to jump into using that. This is a really fun summer collection, and so I am going to play with it. You can see that I've got another great base page that's already pre-made, and you can mess with it as much as or as little as you want to because it already looks great. I am going to add a circle to it so that the circle overlaps the flowers. Now, I originally thought maybe I would do some fussy cutting so that the circle would tuck into the flowers, but I didn't feel like that was going to add anything to it as I looked at things, and quite honestly, I thought it might even be too much. So I decided that just laying this orange patterned paper on top of it as a circle would work well. So my circle is about 9.5 inches. That's what I cut it at. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some pictures on. So I cut these pictures down to be 3.5 by 5 so that they don't basically just so they're not so big. I'm not losing anything by making the pictures a little smaller in this case because I didn't have to cut anything out. So I matted both of those onto the same piece of white cardstock. And then I'm going to cut this frame apart. It wasn't going to work for me as it was because it was a horizontal frame. And unless I wanted to use the word summer, I couldn't do it. There was no way around it. So, and honestly, I went through my entire stash of summer pictures looking for something that would work that was horizontal, and I just didn't have anything that was quite right. So we abandoned ship on that one, and I cut it up. So what I'm doing is making it part of my layers within there. So I've got that circle layer, now I've got the chipboard frame layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the pictures. So I am working with both the embellishment kit as well as the Flavors of the Month kit. So you can see that it includes stuff from both of those. So the embellishment kit, I don't talk a lot about that, and I thought I would take a minute to talk about that. What that is she picks out some additional embellishments, and it's an add-on kit. So there's an additional embellishment for each of the page kits. And sometimes it's several different little things, like a row of enamel dots and a few stickers, or it's some ephemera, or it can be a mixture of things, or it could be like a whole sticker sheet that she adds on. So basically, it's a way to stretch the kit even further. And I get it every month because I love that it gives me just a few more options to be creative with. So just a heads up on that. I am using that today. I use that pretty much every month. I rarely work without using at least the embellishment kit. So you can see I've got these different bits and pieces from it, and I am tucking them in around the picture to really make the picture pop. And you can see some of the different embellishments that I've got going on all off to the right. So there was, of course, some bits and pieces, which is ephemera, but the Simple Stories name for them is bits and pieces. But there was also a whole set of the Simple Pages, and I'm spacing on the exact name of it, but it's basically a smaller ephemera page kit. And it comes with 8 to 10 pieces, usually a piece that will work really well for a title, and then some bigger to smaller pieces. And so I'm working a lot with that. That has always been, since Simple Stories added that into their lineup, it's been one of my favorites because it's just enough to do a layout, but not so much that you have tons left over that you're trying to figure out what to do with them. So you can see I've got all of that on there. I'm adding on right now some little hearts. So I opted for the sunshine up there on the left-hand side, a dragonfly. I think that's the right name. I always mess this. Yeah, I always say dragonfly or firefly. And I mix them up in my videos regularly whenever I use them. I think I got it right today, though. We'll see. I'm sure you will tell me in the comments below if I didn't, because somebody always catches me and I'm always like, anyways, the funny adventures of a YouTuber, right? The things that we mess up. So I've got that in the top left corner. Then you can see I'm working the right hand corner as well. I've got the word summer stretched out along the bottom there for a title. And this ended up being a really simple layout. When I cut the time down, it was like 6.5 minutes. And all I did was cut the time in half. I didn't even speed it up like 4 times or cut anything out. So that is really cool, really fast layout for sure. And I love when that happens. And that happens often when you have great papers like they do with Simple Stories. And when she puts together a great kit with them, that makes it all the more easier. So you can see I'm building out just a little bit, kind of playing with trying to get a third spot up there, just because it felt a little bit empty up top there, adding in some enamel dots. And there you have it. Plain, simple, but colorful and pretty nonetheless. Layout from Simple Stories for the Scrap Room. We will see you again next time.